Welcome back to On Tap with the Boys. We've got myself, Sam. We've got Cody. We've got Mitch. And we've got our special guest, TommyBoy, in the fucking house, dude. So glad to see you here. It's an honor.
Thank you guys for having me.
What's going on, dude? How far away do you live from our studio here?
So this is like me projecting from the questions I get on TikTok and Instagram a lot. So there's kind of like this thing, like I'll be seeing these comments of like, oh, dude's not from a small town. He's just singing about small towns. Like, I'm originally from St. Charles, Minnesota.
My first question, I was actually going to grill you on a little bit. Small town in Minnesota that we've never heard of. I bet we've heard of it.
I'm glad all three of us are on the same page because that was my first question. Are you actually from a small town?
And I'll tell you where that kind of comes from. But right now, I live in Bloomington, Minnesota. So I moved up to the cities to kind of broaden my horizons. I own a couple businesses now and stuff like that. So it's not so much that like I'm hiding to tell everybody where I'm from, but like it's almost like everybody's just grilling me like, oh, he's not from a small town.
I questioned him. I needed to know. When he first came in my presence, I needed to know if he was a real small town boy or not, and he lined up. He fit it. He's small town. He grew up on them dirt roads.
I did, yes, sir. I did.
So hit us with some knowledge here then. Take us back to the day that you made Small Town. We talked about this a little bit before we started recording here. Now, walk us through the day when you started doing it. What's the headspace?
Small town Minnesota.
Headspace.
To be specific.
Yeah, so we own a studio in downtown St. Paul, me and a couple different business owners. And I headed down to the studio after we went to, like we talked about, I went to a Mike concert. And one of my favorite artists of all time.
Shout out Mike. I'm repping the hat right now.
Shout out Mike.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so went to that concert, and it's just like, I'm a very, like, especially with my music, like, I base it around, like, experiences and stuff like that. So it's all, I try to keep it as true to myself as I can, but, like, I find it very hard to make music that's, like, more or less subjective than objective, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so me and Josh went down to the studio, and as far as, like, the headspace I was in, it was just almost like, an inspirational headspace, but I've made so much different types of music for so long
How long you been recording?
Since I was 16, I think.
How old are you now?
25.
Damn.
So you always knew, like, this is my fucking lane.
Yeah, I'm not going to, like, it's something that I guess I've struggled. Like, I think everybody struggles with the idea of, like, making it.
Right.
Yeah. Is there a certain point when, I mean, you started making music at 16, you said, was there a certain point where you knew, like, I'm fucking doing this and I'm really doing it? Like, it wasn't, you know, because there's a lot of kids, especially in small towns, I feel like there's always that one little group of kids that are like, oh, we're going to hit it big, we're going to do this music, we're going to do whatever. Was there a point where you were really like, this is what I want, this is my end goal, I'm really going to fucking make music?
Yeah, I mean,
for a career.
It's came and gone as far as, like, a fleeting feeling of, like, you never really know. Like, I know that I want to do music for the rest of my life. But the fact of whether or not, like, oh, this is going to be it, this is going to be my big break.
Like, is it going to work?
Right. Yeah. That's a very fleeting feeling. You know.
Well, and you were telling me off camera, you said, like, I was trying to rap about other things. I was trying to make music about other things. And then I decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to talk about my hometown.
Yeah.
Get back to my roots.
Yeah. I think
it fucking takes off.
Yeah. I think so. For me, a big part of it was, like, I grew up in a small town, and I don't want to say I hated it, but, like, I didn't feel like I fit in. Right. I lived the entire experience of being from a small town. Like, I drove grain cart for 4 years. Like, I was out farming up until the wee hours.
You were about it.
Bro, I was hauling corn up until the wee hours of the morning. You know what I mean? Like, out in the cornfields, out in the bean fields, like, all of that shit.
You already lost Sam and Cody because them fucking boys ain't worked today.
Right. So, like,
dude, I've been in the bean fields before, if you know what I mean.
But, like, I've done it. But I still didn't feel like I fit in. And I don't know if I can put a description to those kind of feelings or, like, that headspace. But I think after high school, I tried to run away from it as far as I could.
Right.
And try to be almost as opposite of what I grew up in. And around that time, like, when I made Small Town in Minnesota, like, it was almost like a light went off in my head of, like, all right, you've been you've been making music for quite a while now, and you've switched genres, done this, done that, and it was like, I just had the realization that like, I don't need to run from where I'm from anymore.
Right.
And like almost kind of embrace it. It's like you can be this idea of who you want to be and also embrace where you came.
So I guess what I take from what you're saying is like, at first you were like, no, I need to pretend I'm not the small town boy.
Definitely.
Like I need to be that rapper, that city,
The
that
rock
city
star,
dude.
whatever it is, yeah.
And then you realize like, you know what? Fuck it. People fuck with this.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it was that like people fuck with this. It was more or less like a thing for myself. Of
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say like it was more you were just getting real with yourself, and it ended up blowing up type thing. Like you weren't. Did you when you made that song? You know, was it ever a thing where you were like, people are gonna fucking go crazy to this?
It wasn't even me. It was Josh. So my business.
Really?
Partner. Good for him, yeah. So
The dude.
I made it. So I literally made that song in like from like downloading the beat from start to finish, like probably with like close to an hour. It was that fast.
That's crazy.
That's
And
crazy,
it's
yeah.
almost kind of like when you know and you don't really know, but when I showed it to Josh, he was in the other room because like I like to work by myself a lot of the times. But he came in and he was like, this is the one. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, this is the one. This is the person that I know. Like I've gotten to know who you are. Like this is true to you. And I think that's like kind of a moment for me where like it's almost kind of like movie-esque or like cliche in an aspect of like, oh, the moment I stayed true to myself, something works, you know? Like
Right.
it almost seems
Yeah.
like too set up to be real, but that's
Yeah.
exactly kind of how it went.
Yeah.
That's
Very
really funny.
very cliche start, and I absolutely love it.
I mean,
I
Dude.
love it. This is like a movie. I say cliche, not in like a bad way.
No,
I say
no,
like
100%.
this is like the movie script that we see time and time again.
Dude,
Where it's like,
I hear
make a
small
little
town
thing.
Minnesota. Every fucking thing you say lines up with my whole childhood. Like I feel like there's so many people around that can just connect with that song. Be like, yeah, we're hitting them dirt roads. You
Yeah,
know,
we are.
we're fucking
Exactly.
partying out in a field.
That's what we were talking about that before we came on today. Like every one of us grew up. That's where we partied. Was in the fields, in the middle of the fucking woods, hiding from fucking cops, like trying to keep it as quiet as possible. And every time I've heard the song however many times, and it's just like every time you say partying on them fucking dirt roads, it's like that's how we grew up. It really is how we grew up.
yeah, man. Like
It's as real as
What's
you
your,
can get.
what's your best party story you got in a cornfield? You think?
Oh.
You ever gotten blackout drunk in a cornfield before?
blackout drunk everywhere. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude,
if you don't have any on the top of your head, you don't have
to give Tommy Boy a second. I would love to give a little story of myself. There was one night I came out with my buddies, and so my friend had Jack Daniel's Sour Mash. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It is not a thing they make today.
No.
But he had a box of booze that like his friend's grandpa or whatever gave him. Just a box of booze. One of them was Jack Daniel's Sour Mash from 20 years ago.
Oh, 20, so
Dude,
it's 20 years
I drank it until I swear to God, I fucking drank the Sour Mash. I went into my car, sat in the passenger seat, threw the keys out. Don't worry. Dude, I sat in the passenger seat. I woke up and I had to puke, and I had to I couldn't even walk. I had to force myself onto the ground, puked on the ground right next to me, and then I just got up and fucking partied. Like, that, if you're in the sticks.
That's not where I thought that was going, because
diabolical.
I have a puking in my own car story that is way,
Dude,
way
if
later
you're in the
than that.
sticks and you don't let her rip, you're a fucking pussy.
I
I
got
mean, it's
one.
the definition of puke and rally.
Seriously. I grew up on that fucking
Yeah.
definition,
Yep.
dude.
I got a throwing up in my car story. It was our senior year, because it was out. So I had my grad party on a Sunday morning. I had a hangover grad party. We served breakfast food, and we had a venue. We just had pancakes,
Genius.
sausage. It was awesome, right? Awesome concept. Well, my buddy had his grad party the night before. So we go there and we start drinking. I mean, we're like young to the point where we're like, we were drinking, but
Just
we weren't
graduated.
We weren't seasoned like that, so we start day drinking. 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's like midnight, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna die. I gotta get up in the morning, so I'm like, I'm gonna go sleep in the fucking passenger seat of my car. Blackout. Wake up in the passenger seat of my car. My grad party started at like fucking 10 a.m. It was like 10:45. There's puke in the door jamb of my car. There's puke all outside. I'm sleeping. I slept with the door open on my car all night, middle of summer. I wake up, grab my phone out, 9 missed calls, a text from my dad that said, "You even gonna show up to this thing or what? You fucking asshole!" Like just a complete loser.
Late to his
Show
own
up
party.
so hungover. Show up in my party clothes from the night before to my own grad party.
You're like, hey, what's up?
Like, I can't imagine giving money to that fucking kid, because if I showed up and I beat the grad to his grad party, I'd be like, fuck your card. You're not
taking
getting my $20.
You're getting the
asshole.
card. You're taking the money back out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's hilarious.
We used to party. So I had this. So one of my best friends was named Colton, but then we graduated with another Colton. But his dad lived outside of town, and they had a bunch of land out there. His grandparents lived like on the other side of like all the property that they owned. But they had this giant like hill, and it was a pasture for cattle and shit like that. And up at the top of this hill, they had like a little shack for like hunting and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Little hunting stand up there.
Dude, the hunting shack.
It had a door, windows. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a
Single room shack.
Yeah, little fancy deer hunting shack. And man, that night was bad. We went up there. I don't remember how many people were up there, but we used to have like giant bonfires up there, and you could see a long ways from up there. You could see like St. Charles from up there, and it was just like right outside of town. And fuck, we got so fucking hammered that night. I blacked out like probably within like 2 hours of being there.
That's how you know it's going to be a long night.
And I woke up, and I don't remember if it was like fall or springtime, and it was bad. I blacked out. I woke up, and it was just me and Colton there. There was probably like 30 people there when I blacked out.
Oh, nothing worse, dude.
Woke up
The
in this
scariest
up
feeling.
in this fucking shack. I like sat up, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and fuck. And my feet were frozen cold. I couldn't feel my feet. I had my boots on. I couldn't fucking feel my goddamn feet.
Oh, so it was wintertime.
It wasn't winter, but like it was like either like early spring or like late fall.
Okay.
I could not-
30, 40,
Dangerous.
maybe a little frost on the ground in the
I
morning.
could not
Fucking
feel my
cold.
fucking feet. And so we got up and we just started cleaning up. I was still hammered. And I blacked out at like 11, like maybe 10:30 o'clock. Like, and I woke up and I'm like, why am I still so drunk? It was probably like 6:30, 7 in the morning, and I knew I had to work at like 10 o'clock at Good Sport, which is our local bar in St. Charles.
Shout out Good Sport.
Shout out Good Sport. I had to work at like 10 o'clock. And so we cleaned up, threw all the fucking beer cans in the fire pit, and drove into downtown, or like not downtown, but Main Street, St. Charles, and we went to Dell's Cafe and had breakfast. And I was
Hell yeah.
fucking hammered. And
Dude, name a better hangover cure than a little hole-in-the-wall
bro.
cafe.
Yep.
There
Little-
is no better
little
hangover
breakfast
cure.
skillet, little
About
breakfast skillet.
2 pounds
Oh,
of greasy
dude,
hash browns,
nothing-
brother.
Nothing like a fucking breakfast skillet that gets me going in the morning.
Shout out Nichols Cafe right here in Pine City. Dude, unbelievable pancakes.
Tommy,
Unbelievable pancakes.
we're gonna have to have you come stay here for a night one of these times because
Oh, I'm down.
we got to bring you to Nichols Cafe.
Yeah.
For a
dude.
hangover
We
kit.
get you drunk
Specifically
enough to go
hungover.
to Nichols too.
But yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so I haven't got to the point
Oh,
of
yeah,
my
sorry,
story
go
yet.
ahead.
So
Sorry about
we went to breakfast. I went to work fucking absolutely drunk still at like 10 o'clock. Like I was still fucking hammered. Made it through the day. But it wasn't until maybe like a month later that I found out why I was so fucked up when I woke up the next morning. Apparently I stayed up until like 4 in the morning. I blacked out for more than like 5 hours.
Nothing worse.
5 hours.
Scariest
There's a video out there somewhere of me throwing up. Like I was sitting crisscross applesauce with like one leg to the right, and like next to this big ass fucking pine tree, just throwing up my guts out.
Sitting very proper.
Yeah, very proper.
I don't want these guys to know I'm drunk.
So yeah, there's a missing like. Usually when you black out, you know, like you got like a missing like hour or two before you pass out.
I hope to God it's only an hour, dude. I know exactly
I'm
what
talking.
you're saying.
I'm
Best case
talking
scenario.
5 hours.
Best case scenario is you black out and go directly to bed. Best case scenario,
Every
the
time.
only thing you
no way.
forgot is just going right to bed, and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, dude, you were a fucking animal last night. I'm like, oh, I don't remember being an animal.
It's either animal or asshole. It's one or the other.
100%, dude. And that's the thing is, like, there's nothing. Like, when I black out, I go immediately to my main friend that I was with at the time, and I ask, like, this has happened multiple times. I've gone up to him and I've said, what the fuck happened?
Just give me the rundown.
And if they're like, oh, you're good, dude. Like, nothing happened. I'm like, oh, fucking bless the Lord. Jesus Christ, dude.
It's the moment of hesitation that really makes your gut drop.
It is. It is, for
So,
sure.
have you hit the point yet? You go to this shack. You're getting fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
You're sitting crisscross applesauce around this, tree.
I remember we were looking at stars was like one of the last things I was remembering. And then we could see somebody, I don't know, they were far enough away, but we could see lights from a tractor in a field nearby. Like,
That's how I know. Hey, shout out everyone that wondered if he's from a small town. If he saw a tractor in the distance,
I don't remember
he's
to this
good to
point.
go.
Can't argue with it.
I don't remember at this point if they were planting because it would have been the spring or if they were like raking hay in the fall. I don't fucking know. It was, you could see it, but we were, and then we started talking about cattle and shit. I don't remember. But those are like the small town boys that I grew up around and shit like that. Yeah. So I mean, we partied fucking hard.
That's awesome.
Dude,
that's great to hear because it's good to, or I should say, it's refreshing to hear a guy getting a little bit of success going up here that is just an extremely normal person. Like, you don't have this upbringing of, parents that came from a very wealthy upbringing where they're able to funnel money into these sports or into music equipment to get you to where you're at. It's cool. It's refreshing.
I did it like all of this for the most part of myself, and like I said, when I was 16, so there was a kid that I grew up with, Bernie. Shout out to Bernie. We started making music together when we were 16, and I remember we went with some money that we had saved up together. We went with his stepdad to like Best Buy to go buy our first microphone to record music.
Nice.
And we kept it at my crib. And we would hide it when all my homies would come over. We put it in like the closet.
You didn't even want him to know.
Oh fuck no, bro! No. And like looking back and listening to that shit, like I mean, I could understand why. It was god awful.
At the time, hey, this is an at the time statement. They would have been like, "What are you, fucking gay?"
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah. Back in the day, like you couldn't, if you were like trying to get famous on social media, especially like in our age group, if you were younger, that was when social media started getting to be.
Oh,
a big
dude,
thing.
I wouldn't
So
have
everyone's
dared
like,
done a podcast.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
like,
that.
Yeah, there's
like
no way.
Fred blows up and then fucking Smosh blows up and everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna go make YouTube videos. And now if you still have that YouTube account up and your friends know about it, we're still giving you shit to this day.
It's so cringe. I look back. I were you guys ever on MySpace?
Dude, I'm so young.
No,
Yeah,
I
was on MySpace.
I caught like the last solid 6 months of MySpace. That was like my first social media account, and I was making these little skit videos where we would just beat the shit out of one of our friends, and it was like very Smosh-esque. And dude, if I could find those now, it'd be so cringe. I just cringe
So
at the
much
idea of
cringe
having that
shit
out there.
that's like out there.
What was some of the first songs that you recorded? Like,
So they weren't even songs. So I'm probably gonna get off of this podcast and go delete all the shit off of my or not TikTok, my Twitter.
People about to search your ass.
Yeah, fuck. So on Twitter is where I started doing it. So like we had made a few songs and like released them on SoundCloud and shit. And then at the same time, I was doing these things I would call like 30-second raps. I would do hashtag 30-second raps on Twitter. And I didn't even have a microphone and shit like that. So like I was just rapping to my phone with a beat playing in the background. And I ended up getting in a rap beef with like a kid from another small town, like 20 minutes away. And like that was a big thing. And I remember like when I posted mine, like it was kind of lingering. Like it was.
Wait, I'm sorry. I hate to cut you off.
Yeah, you're good.
But did he diss you first, or did you diss him first? Because there's a huge difference. We have to know.
Yeah, no, I'm not the type of person to diss somebody first. And
so he came at you.
Yeah, so so I was posting like these 30-second raps, and he started shit talking me.
Oh,
and so
on.
it turned on to like this thing, and so like we each kind of got our chance to like fucking rap back at each other, and like. I'm not gonna brag about this, like whatever, but
hey, brag, brother.
Yeah.
This is your platform.
Answer the question.
Brag.
We all know if you.
We
all
love
know
you,
if won
Tommy
or
Boy.
not.
You can brag all you want.
All right, you could say I won. We could say I
Yeah.
won, but I remember
Fuck
that.
yeah.
I remember that feeling like it was absolutely garbage. Like it would
Hey,
be so
Tommy,
cringe.
can I be
Call him
real
out.
with you?
Yeah.
You think we would have the loser on this podcast? We know damn well
Fair.
you won that.
Fair. That's fair. But yeah, I remember that feeling when like one night, like my video that like I posted of me rapping got like 300 likes on Twitter, and at the time, like I was like I had never experienced any kind of like reach like that. So like it was definitely strange like at the beginning, and like
Oh yeah.
again kind of back to the thing of like just how I've gotten here. Like yeah, that was when I was 16, 17 probably. So
That's
like,
got to be a cool feeling for you. Do you, I mean, because obviously, like, you don't want people to see that shit, but do you ever go back and look at that and be like segue to now where you're kind of blowing up? You know, is it a cool thing to see how far you've progressed?
yeah, man, it's humbling almost in an aspect. Like to think that the same mindset or all the shit that's happened in my life from then until now, and you know, from where I moved, and
Yeah.
all sorts of shit, the people that I've met and all the things that I've done, like to be here right now doing this, like it's like a dream come true almost
Yeah.
in an aspect.
That's
But-
sweet.
But it's like it's the same mentality that's gotten me here. Like even though my music sucked back then, like when I was doing it,
Did it really, or do you feel like
No, it
as you
sucked.
progressed, you're better now?
yeah. Oh, now I mean, obviously, yeah, I'm like better now, but
But like, did it actually suck, or do you
yeah,
feel like it sucked?
No, it sucked.
Did it?
It sucked. it was
I
bad.
love the honesty,
And-
brother.
It sucked, but it's almost kind of like that blind faith or like that blind confidence that you have. Like you're just confident because it's your own shit, and like looking back, you're like, shouldn't have had that kind of confidence.
Oh, exactly.
But did that
But-
confidence get to where
I was
you
gonna
are
say,
now, you
but
know?
you
yeah.
gotta have that.
You have
gotta.
to. You have
Because
to.
That's why any creative in any field, you know, obviously specifically musicians deal with that a lot. But if you don't have that confidence going into it, like you're screwed from the start.
So I don't know, around that time, like I used to say this saying all the time is that people don't fuck with you until people fuck with you.
Right.
And you have to get through that. And there's only one way through that, and it's straight fucking forward.
Absolutely.
Dude, we have a friend on TikTok, J Roddy. Shout out J Roddy. This man tries harder than I've ever
Bro,
seen.
I know
You
who that
follow
is.
J
Yeah,
Roddy?
Yeah. He
Shout
followed me back
out.
the other day.
He's awesome.
Dude, he tries harder than anyone I've ever seen ever, but he will not give up.
No, and he's gonna make it, and that's why
I
I follow
love
him,
it,
'cause, like,
dude.
He's like, honestly, he's gonna watch this, but like, it's inspiration for me, bro.
Dude, I comment on all this shit. I try to make sure, like, if anybody's gonna be the guy that keeps him from quitting, I want to be that guy.
Dude,
because-
he's pretty good.
Dude, he hits it, and it's just like for you did music for years, and it took years to take off, and now you finally hit your single that just fucking let her rip.
And we're not even there yet. Like that's the thing is like my mind, the way I'm working right now is like, you wait your entire life for moments like these where like you feel like you can say that you made it, but like the truth is like I ain't made it.
That's that real winner's mentality.
But
That's
it-
that winner's mentality of once you finally do make it, you still didn't fucking make it. Like you're never gonna quit trying. You know,
Right.
Whether you have 10 people listening to your song or 20 million people are listening to your song the first day it comes out, you're always gonna. I mean, that winner's mentality is always gonna make you want more.
100%.
You're
I wrote-
always gonna want more.
I wrote down in my journal the other day something along the lines of this. It was like you've waited or like you've worked your whole life for a moment like this. Now is where everything starts. Like you need to go. Right now is go time. This is make it or break it. This is everything that you've worked for. Do not let this moment slip.
So what was it like for you in the OG days where you had no listeners, nobody liking your shit, and you were just making music? Like, because
Honest-
I heard you were doing shows before Small Town Minnesota came out.
Oh,
So
years ago. Yeah.
I'm sure you've been through the time where people just didn't show up. You were
Yeah, and it was almost kind of like the funny thing is like that I'm kind of happy about. It was just that blind faith, that blind confidence, because like if I didn't have that, like there's no fucking way that I'd be here right now.
Yeah.
because
Right.
because I look back honestly and like look at myself in the past, and if I was able to be confident with the level of stuff that I was putting out, like I almost feel like I struggle more with confidence right now than I did back then.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. I mean, even us coming with this podcast, I mean, this will be, Sam's been with us for a year. Mitch has been with us like
month and
a half.
week, month and a half.
Mitch is fresh. He's the new blood.
Yep.
But when I started this podcast 3 years ago, that was like the same thing. I look back at the first episodes, it's like, dude, this is cringe.
Yeah.
Like, this is way different than what it was before. But I mean, it's just it grows, and you just ultimately, the better you get, the less
Confident.
better you feel about it.
Right. And
It's a weird space.
Did you ever have that person? Sam was saying his TikTok friend. He's like, I'm not gonna let him quit. Did you have that person in your life where when you really got down on yourself and you had a day or two where you thought, hey, this ain't it. Like, I'm just gonna fucking go be a normal guy and work a normal job. Did you have that person in your life who was gonna fucking like not let you quit? That person who's gonna drive you to the fucking very end, or was it just your confidence all along? You knew you were
Great
gonna do
question.
yeah, I mean, I've had some, like, I got my homies that have been supportive, especially day ones. My homie Colton, best friend to this day. And
Shout
in
out
this
Colton.
world. Yeah,
Is this
shout out
hunting
Colton.
shack
Shout
cap?
him out.
Well, I mean, if you listen to Small Town in Minnesota, me and Colton got the word, so it's word up. Like, we were the ones to go to. Like, it's like, what's happening tonight? Like, it was like wherever Tommy and Colton are going, like, and it's not to buzz my balls, but like, we just like to party, so
Right.
we would sniff that shit out wherever
Right.
the fuck we were going.
Yeah.
You're hitting up the neighboring towns, being like, "Yo, where's the fucking party at
Yeah,
tonight?"
and yeah, I mean, you know, we labeled him my manager at one point, well before we even knew what like the roles of a
Right.
fucking manager, like any
Yeah.
of that shit, like
Right.
complete pipe dream at that point. But yeah, man, like I've definitely found my support systems along the way. But back at it again at the end of the day, you really look at it, you look at a lot of people that are successful or people who fell off, and it doesn't matter what kind of, like, I don't want to say it doesn't matter what kind of support system you have, but at the end of the day, it's whether you want to do it or not, and whether or not that you're gonna fight through it or not. And that's more of like a life metaphor than anything, right? Like, everybody in the world can be telling you like this and that, but you see people at the top that struggle with this shit still.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%.
And they have hundreds of millions of fans
Yeah.
still cheering them on, and they still struggle
Yep.
to, you know, get up in the morning or
So
do what they
you
need
see-
to do.
For you, did you see people that were at the same level that you were at, just, you know, dropping like flies? Like, were people quitting around you, and you're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm letting her rip?
Yeah, definitely. Even still to this day, like, I mean, even like more recently, or as you come up, like, it happens, you know, people that you've known for a while that have been at it, and you've looked up to them, or, you know, reached out to them for advice and stuff like that. Like, they're just not posting anymore. They're, you know, have officially quit or anything like that. And for me, that's just, at the end of the day, the distinction that I like to make is that I love to make music, and I don't know what I would do without it. It's my way of expression. It's my outlet for how I'm feeling or what I'm going through, and I don't think I could ever give that piece up. But at the end of the day, like, I want to do this for a living, so tie those two together. Like, it's just like I can't quit mentality. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep doing this because it's what I love to do.
So is your family like 100% behind you? Like, you got a lot of supporters in your family? Like,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, my mom and my dad, like, I don't know if they're really like they understand. But I mean, they're supportive, and to me, I learned that cutting out your family first from your motivation for success is probably the fastest way to continue to grow.
oh, dude, I 100% agree.
Because not only can your family be your biggest motivators, they're the first to be your biggest critics. And also that you feel like just because you're attached to them through family, that you take their words for probably more than they're worth in a lot of situations.
I think a lot of the time that gets like there's a misconception there. I think a lot of the times it really does come from a place of love from them too. Like it's one thing if your family's really just shitting on you, but also like if your family's saying, hey, maybe this ain't it, like from a place of love from them, maybe they don't want to see you struggle anymore, you know?
No, 100%. And
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I
You
didn't even
gotta
think
work
about it
through
like
that,
that.
you
That's a very
Where
good
some people
point.
are like, oh, maybe think about getting
Yeah,
a real
'cause-
job. You
Yeah,
know?
well, I mean, some people need that what do they call that? Helpful criticism or
Yep.
what's the
Dude,
word
I
I'm
mean,
looking
let's be
for?
real. There are people that need to get that talk like, hey,
Yeah.
man, this isn't working. maybe let's get a job at Walmart and keep. You can keep doing it, but hey, let's maybe get something cooking.
Well, and I think the biggest distinction is whether or not you're being honest with yourself.
That is empty.
But yeah,
Bean Boy, will you grab me a beer?
it's definitely. I think the biggest distinction is whether or not you're being honest with yourself, and then take that another notch, right? So, okay, I'm being honest with myself, but if I still feel this like burning need, I think that if you really, really down to your core have the knack or like the urge to pursue something, then I don't think that there's a way that you can fail. Whether that's making $50,000 a year, doing what you absolutely love to do, maybe you're not making millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
But if you really have an urge or like the desire or the dream to do something, you're gonna do it and you're gonna figure it out. And I think that there's a lot of people who either find themselves short in a lot of situations that either give up or they listen to somebody else. I look at it like this: like if I knew how many doors I needed to open to make it, right? If I had a hallway full of doors and I knew how many doors I needed to make it, and I needed to open every single one except for the one at the end of the hallway. The one at the end of the hallway is the one that's really going to get me there, but I have to open up every single one first.
That's the one that brings you to Drake status.
Right.
Like,
but the thing is that in life, you don't know what door that's going to be.
You never get to see that fucking door until you make it to that door. You just got to get to the next door.
Right.
The only thing that matters is the one that's in
Right.
front of you. You got to open that motherfucker before you find out what's behind it.
Right.
And you just got to keep doing it.
And just keep opening
winning.
doors and just keep moving. And you'll get to where you need to go as long as you just keep going.
well, and so for you, small town Minnesota, absolute banger, complete hit. The people are loving it. So for you, someone that has made music for years, you have made music without any of this praise. You've just been doing it because you love it. How did it feel? Like when you were getting all this love off TikTok, when your Spotify listeners went up by probably 10,000. I mean, I don't really know the real number, but like when everything just boosted for you, how did that feel in general?
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
Not as good as I thought it would.
No.
Oh, really?
No, that I was actually expecting you to say that because I feel like I'm sitting in a fucking Joe Rogan, David Goggins podcast right now. You're so inspirational. I fucking love it. I could tell just by your mannerism that you really truly are doing this for you. You want to win for yourself more than it. You don't need the fucking backing. You're just a motivational guy, and I love it.
We'll give a shout out to Jay Roddy.
Jay Roddy.
He says, what's his? I love, but I don't know what I'd do without the hate.
Yup.
Yep.
Yes. Dude.
And that's kind of like the mentality, right? Like, is I don't care whether or not you hate on me, because I've had so many people hate on me for this, that, things unrelated to music, and their opinion. You just got to learn whether or not to gauge opinions, right? Like, at the end of the day, if somebody tells you you're good or you suck, it's an opinion. So, do you trust that person? Do you love that person? How high? Like, why should you take for what they say and take it to heart? And a lot of people don't have that gauge. And like, I'm not saying like I'm Superman over here. Like, I still struggle with it when I get hate comments.
Dude,
and that shit still
100%.
fucking doesn't feel good. I'm not gonna
Right.
lie, but it's knowing how to navigate around that.
Dude,
Well-
if someone said things that have been said to me online, it would fucking ruin me. Like we've had clips where I just get shit on and it fucking hurts. But at the end of the day, I look at the big picture. I have people coming up to me in real life telling me they love the videos. It changed everything for me. I love everything you do. It makes me so happy. And then I'm sitting there like, fuck.
Yeah,
It feels good.
you weigh the two,
But when the shit I'm seeing online, it's just horrible.
and I think it's cool to point out the fact of, like, even if you're listening at home or whatever, anything you've done in your life, why are we so quick to dismiss a compliment and so even quicker to take criticism to heart, or not even just criticism, just hate.
Especially criticism or hate from someone that you don't even fucking know.
Right? Why
They
do I
don't know
care?
you and you don't know them. So
They
why
don't
is
even
it,
have a
you know?
profile picture or a single TikTok ever posted.
Right.
As like someone, as an up and coming creator, as just a creative in general, what do you think is the best way to like break through in a lane now? Do you think like TikTok is really the spot where you need to be pushing your shit as a creative?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's how I first saw you, was on TikTok. You came
Yeah.
up on my For You page.
I think we need to take everything as technology evolves with a grain of salt. I think right now, as we're speaking on this podcast, and for the last 2 years, TikTok is the way to go. I don't know if it'll be there forever. I don't know what's going to come next, but I think it's a weighing of your options of like, all right, well, odds are that if I continue to post on this platform, I'm probably going to get more exposure than I would on this platform or anything like that. So I guess to answer your question, I think right now TikTok is the 100% way to go. I think you do need to nurture the rest of your social accounts as well. I
You
think
need to know how to adapt.
right.
Yeah, well, you don't have to necessarily adapt. You just have to know how to reformat it.
Yeah,
and repurpose that content. Like, we post the same thing on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Like, I make 5 different versions of every video we make.
And I'll be honest, like, I'm not as good as I should be at creating content and posting it. Like, it's something I beat myself up on a daily for. It's like, why didn't you film a TikTok today? Why didn't you do that?
Right.
Well, so to go off of what Cody said, when it comes to making these videos for multiple platforms, it's crazy to realize what works on what platform and what doesn't. We'll have a video go on TikTok that gets 1,000 views, which for people that don't create on TikTok, 1,000 views is nothing.
Well, this is a great example. We have one right now, one TikTok right now that just got to 13K, but on Facebook it just hit 1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a huge spread.
And I think it just kind of comes down to the fact of bettering your odds in every direction that you
Right.
possibly can. If what you need to do, like, so take your tasks. If being a successful podcast for you guys, you just need to know what you need to do, and getting it anywhere, everywhere possibly that you can is probably the best way to go about it. And that's a prime example
100%.
of that, is that, you know, it's not always the location matters. You can take the same thing, put it in 5 different locations, and it's going to perform 5 different ways.
right.
And if you want to do this for a living and if you want to succeed, you got to venture out into those avenues and just test the waters.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point. So, I mean, you're saying TikTok right now is the way to go.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
It might change. It's probably inevitably going to change to something else.
That's just the way
But
life works.
push your shit on TikTok.
So I'm sorry, did I cut you off there?
I was just gonna say is a lot time back to the comments that I get and the hate that I get. A lot of what I've seen since Small Town took off is that, I wish, let's go back to the 90s. Let's go back to this and let's go back to that. This new shit sucks. Like, don't be a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Don't be a dinosaur. If you want to be successful in today's day and age, you need to. I don't matter.
You are a dinosaur.
There's old people, 70, 80, 90-year-olds going viral on TikTok.
right.
Right? Yeah, from the help probably of somebody else. But the thing is that they might be seeing more success than they've seen in their entire lives.
Yeah, 100%.
They're also that's an age group of people that are be like, don't put that fucking camera
It's
in my
the
face.
same age group that looked at celebrities as if they were fucking God themselves.
Right.
Bro,
They couldn't.
I've-
The fact of seeing John Wayne in person was like, holy fuck.
But it's adapted with generations, especially with music, you know. There was the very old people when rock music came out, they're like, oh, you guys love Satan and da-da-da-da, and this music shit, and we should just listen to fucking country. Well, then rap music comes out, and all the people who got yelled at by their parents for listening to rock are yelling at their kids for listening to fucking rap.
Yeah,
It's like, fuck you.
100%.
The same shit happened to you, dumbass. Like, why are you hating on someone for what they fucking pay attention to when the same exact thing happened to you as a kid?
Because there's a moment in your life where, whether you know it or you don't, that you stop adapting. And that's a conscious choice. Or conscious choice. Or it could be a subconscious choice too, I guess. But there's a moment where a mass majority of the population stops adapting.
Do you think that's like a common line drawn? Like it's around 25, it's around 26.
No,
it's
dude,
around
I
30.
don't know the exact line, but I will tell you what, there are certain things where I hear like, oh, the kids are into this, that, or whatever, and I'm sitting there like, that shit's fucking stupid. Like I have felt myself, I have felt myself been that old man that's like, you fucking kids don't know shit. Back in my day,
I just fucking did that to you before we started shooting the podcast. You're posting the B-reel, and I'm like, fucking B-reel? Like, use Snapchat,
it's
you weirdo.
crazy.
It's like, maybe learn how to, like, reflecting on myself, like, go the fuck up, dude. Like, maybe be open to new things.
and that's where I was at. I thought B-real was the lame thing. No, that's what the kids are into, man.
Yeah,
Shit's
and
dope.
I think that the moment you stopped adapting, and whether you know it or not, is the moment you get left behind.
So, Tommy Boy, I want to
Yep.
take you back a little bit. What was your first show like ever? Like, you have never performed in front of people. It has come to that time. Like, what? Will you please put us in the situation of your first show?
That's a great question.
Yeah, lots and lots of nerves.
I bet. I fucking bet, dude. Where were you at?
What? It was at a venue that's no longer a thing. I can't remember what the Mill City Nights or something.
Oh
like that.
yeah, yep.
Do you remember that?
I've been there. Yep.
Yeah,
I saw Earl Sweatshirt in concert there.
Yeah, I opened for Nate Millions there. It was like some sort of a contest show, and as far as contestants go, I was the only one who showed up, I think, or something like that.
Wait. So like you were a contestant to get the spot to be in it?
No, it was
Or what
like
was the
it was
contest?
like Nate Millions was headlining it, or somebody like him and somebody else were headlining it, or something
Prank
like
Cashy
that.
or something.
Yeah, and no. Yeah, him and Cashy, I don't know if they were doing it together. Something, they were like headlining it, and then they had like 5 opening spots, and then whoever did the best, per se, judges or some shit like that, was gonna win some sort of prize, and I don't remember what it was. That would have been like my senior year or junior year in high school. It's the first show, actually. Well, first real show that I can say that I did. I wrote. Here's a fun story. I wrote our senior song for our high school.
No,
Really?
That's
Yeah.
legendary.
Really?
I don't know where it is. I think I purposely didn't delete it from TikTok, but I hid it because it's kind of a career damager as you move forward.
Yeah.
But I think I performed that in front of our entire school.
Fuck yeah,
Gym
dude.
floor.
Dude, can you imagine how legendary that is 5 years down the line when you're actually blowing up and you're actually a huge artist? Everyone went to high school with you.
Yeah,
Like,
I got.
Oh, I can't
Tommy
even
Boy wrote
fucking
my
imagine.
school
I got-
song, dude. That's dope.
And
That's so dope.
I got voted for most likely to be famous.
Oh, my dude.
So
So they knew. They knew, dude. They
Yeah.
had an insight on that shit.
It was bad. I'm gonna tell you that straight up in front. But if I could find our yearbook, it's in there. It's like the song was called "Love You All."
The fucking man,
That's so
dude.
Dude,
fucking
that's
legendary.
I was actually one of the questions that I was thinking that I wanted to ask you was like making music for that long, like since 16. Obviously, you had a few years when you were in high school making music. How long before the general population of your high school found out? And then what was their like general reception of it? Were people like, "That's dope, like that's sweet,"
It was all over the place.
or were people like,
it was
"That's a little cringe"?
It was a mix of a lot. Cause like I remember doing that performance, and there was like a couple of the girls that were in the crowd that were like crying tears because they were like, "Oh my god, high school's over," you know, like this song is so beautiful.
I'm gonna fuck Tommy Boy.
I don't know if it was quite that yet, but I remember also like during the Twitter days, like, you know, doing these 30-second raps that I was telling you about, like kids from my high school were like fucking beefing with me on Twitter, that like some small town kid shit like that was like all the. Again, why like I didn't feel like I fit in a lot of the times because I was doing something different that nobody does from a small town like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I feel like that's a small town thing in general. If you're doing something any bit different, there's
100%.
always going to be that group that's going to be like, "Oh fuck,
Gonna
this guy."
shit on it. Yeah, the general population doesn't want you to be different. You
Oh,
know?
no.
Oh yeah, even
Especially from your hometown. There's a standard where, you know, obviously there's the business owners that are looked up to. There's the people that make it, that people are like, "Oh, I want to be them one day." But at your time, that was not a content creator
Well,
by any means.
Have you guys dealt with that with the podcast though? Like, if you had people from high school be like, "Dude, not everyone needs a fucking podcast. Like, you just look like a dipshit."
How's your little radio show going?
Yeah.
Bro, that's the
It's
same.
like, fuck you. You're like, sorry for being creative. Sorry for
That's-
trying to do something other
it's-
than just drinking in the same bar every night. Like, fuck you.
It's the same comment I get if I go home and I see people that like I haven't connected with in fucking years or whatever. It's always how's that or that. Maybe not always little, but how's that music thing going?
How's the music?
Yeah, oh,
That shit
dude, if they
bothers
put thing at the end of it,
that shit bothers
fuck you.
That shit bothers the fuck out of me. But I try to handle it as best as I can, So it's and I've gotten that from family members, and like you can tell the difference of when like somebody who cares about you and is like, how's that music thing going?
Oh, dude,
Like,
it's crazy. It's a difference.
It's a huge difference because you can tell that they're just trying to understand you because they don't understand it themselves. They call it a music thing because they're like, I have no idea what the fuck you're doing. And like, good for you. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. But then there's the, how's that, like, oh, how's that music thing going for you? You're like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Dude, 100% agree. And hey, boys, I'm sorry. I gotta put an end to this.
God, I was
I've got to
waiting.
pee so fucking bad.
Same.
We're gonna rip
It's
a little
time for
bathroom break. Thank you,
The boys
Tommy
will
Boy.
be right back.
Of course.
Welcome back. We're here from the bathroom break. We have emptied our bladders and emptied our minds here, and now we're back for the second half of this
I feel like a new man.
I feel like a new man also. I feel
Light on my
refreshed.
feet. I feel athletic right
That was like a long piss, bro. that was one of those ones you're like, all right, we're gonna wrap it up here. Come on.
So you haven't drank for 90 days now.
Yeah, me and my
You're,
girlfriend.
You're a couple beers in now.
Wait,
Did
wait,
you
wait.
notice
So
it hitting
when
faster?
when you and your girlfriend had those first couple beers today, that was for both of you. That was 90 days.
90 days.
Damn.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Dude.
Little tolerance break.
Yep, I'm feeling it.
Hey, so
That's awesome.
bringing up someone that's feeling it, I got a little story to bring up to you guys.
What is?
Have you heard anything about the Laverne Police Department in Tennessee by chance?
This is the lady that was sleeping with all of her coworkers.
Oh, if
right?
you're talking about Megan Hale, we're talking about the same motherfucker.
So what's
I
the
was gonna
story
say the
here?
B word, but I'm not disrespectful like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go motherfucker. So Megan Hale,
I feel like Megan's earned motherfucker status at this point.
shout out my girl, Megan Hale. She got fired from the police department because she apparently had sexual relations with 5 different dudes in her police department. She was having sex, she was sending nudes, and cherry on top, she had a 3-way with one of the cops and their wife.
I have some more things that she did. So, not only did she have sex with 5, there's 5 fired and 3 suspended from the department. 12% of the total department is now not working. There was word of a girls. This is in the news. A Girls Gone Wild style hot tub party where she removed her top in the presence of like wives of other officers. And then
So one of them bitches reported her. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Let's be real. This was a cop that was like, woo, let me show my tits.
this is my cherry on
to
top.
getting turned in by someone's wife.
My cherry on top is also in the same article I read. Performed oral sex at the station and in the department gym.
That's the best shit I ever heard my whole life. I said Judge Judy being thick was the best shit I ever heard. That is the best
Judge
shit.
Judy
I
wishes
swear to
she
God.
was Megan.
Hear me out, boys.
I'm
You know,
hearing you out.
there's been a lot of anti-cop shit going around.
This
whatever.
is what could bring them back around.
Hear me out. If these cops are being satisfied, if they're going to work getting their dick sucked in the morning, you think they're gonna give out tickets? Fuck no, dude. They're gonna be like, hey, you were 20 over. Warning, motherfucker. Let's have a fucking day, dude.
Hell yeah.
I
Let me
think
It's
introduce
just
you to my
all
coworker.
smiles.
I think she was just trying to hit her quotas.
Dude,
Oh,
she was out for it, brother. She was fucking living. I cannot
crazy.
imagine.
as a person from that town, how do you think they feel now? They're like, oh, great, this is what our city's known for now.
They're thinking, oh shit, am I that ugly that the cop didn't fuck me? Seriously.
Like she's sleeping with
That's
everyone.
a good point. Is how many people she pulled over and like, you fuck me, I won't get a ticket.
Oh yeah, well,
Do you think that's
I
the thing?
guarantee
Maybe.
somebody's out there like, fuck, I missed my chance.
Dude, that's how I felt.
Dude,
how do you
hear me
feel?
out. Hear me out. Every time I hear those stories of like high school kid slept with this teacher and this teacher just super hot, it's like,
Bro, you ever seen those memes? It was like kids sleeping with their teachers. What my teacher, or like especially like gym teachers, like kids,
like Hulk Hogan?
like 3 kids sleep with their gym teacher, and she's like some goddess. And then like, yeah, this is like what my gym teacher looked like. Hulk Hogan.
Picture of Hulk Hogan.
Dude, I swear to God, in my high school, we had one hot teacher, and she knew it. She flaunted that shit around. She knew what was up. She definitely wasn't fucking no students.
Yeah,
We had 2 or 3 hot teachers that got a lot of boys my age in trouble.
Oh,
Because they were just
Really?
like, dude, like, well, because like we're dogs. Like we're gonna like my one buddy. I think my one buddy asked her to prom, and I think he got sent to the office for
oh
it.
my god.
dude, so what do you guys think? Like, let's just take it to a different path. Let's say you're working your normal office job, and this lady that works with you says, hey, I've been seeing you walk around the last week. You're hot as fuck. I want to suck your dick right now in the break room. Because that's pretty much equivalent to
break
what...
room.
No, seriously, that's equivalent to what happened. Like, she was banging these cops on city property.
Yeah.
I think she fucked up in the fact that like she was playing where she eats. You know, what
She's
I'm
almost
saying?
too open about it. You can get away with that 1 or 2.
I mean, get a
But-
hotel room.
Fucking
But
8.
how
8?
How would you react? You're at your normal job. All of a sudden, this chick wants to fuck you. What, you'd fuck her or no? Like, seriously, this is serious. Like, I can tell you, I would.
Sam,
I
being
would.
the only single man in this podcast is so cool with that
I'd
question.
be
We're all
like, holy shit,
plead-
you
No, I
want?
wouldn't.
Sam, I plead the fifth. My girlfriend's sitting right over there.
my girlfriend's listening to us right now just with Tommy. He's like,
I'd be like, holy shit, you want my dick? All right, where do you want it? When do you want it?
how do you want it?
Do you want $1,000 or not? I don't know how this works.
Yeah.
I've never got it for free.
When
so-
do I pay you? Did you see that Friday Beers skit where the guys was like talking about like the fringe guy who orders a prostitute?
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about, but that's me.
He's at the door, like they just get to the hotel room. He's like, "Mind if I get a kiss, a sneak peek, if you will?" It's a super cringe.
Or it's like remember fucking you guys watch Wolf of Wall Street where he's like, it started on the first day when one of my brokers christened the elevator by getting a blowjob by the secretary. It's like a glass elevator and she's just blowing him in front of everyone. That's what I imagine this police department's like.
All right, in Wolf of Wall Street, they gave them like poker chip names. I don't remember what they were.
They were named after stocks. It was the penny stocks.
No, wasn't it the?
It was the penny stocks, the blue chips, and the Nasdaqs.
Blue chips. All right.
The blue chips were the expensive ones. The blue chips are $500.
All right.
Are you-
Well, what's
You had to wear
our police maiden's name?
Her name is
Megan.
Megan Hale, brother.
All right. Well, what kind of stock option are you giving her?
She's a Nasdaq.
That is Hall.
Dude.
That is Megan Hall.
She's a Nasdaq.
Wait, is there not an
You
I?
had to wear a condom unless you tipped her heavy, which
I think
always do.
I typed it wrong. I think it was supposed to be Hale.
That's on your phone. It says Megan Hale or Hall. Right
Hey,
there.
did I not say I just typed it wrong? Well,
To be
hey,
determined. To be determined.
honestly, I'd smash.
A quick.
I'd hit it. Is that what you're looking from me? I'd hit it.
It is
Fuck
what
you.
it is.
Give her
It
1
is
to
what
10.
it
1 to
is.
10.
3.
But if she's a 3,
The
that means
standards are low.
If she's a 3 and she's freaky, that's a work 8.
What that's
That's a workplace 8.
So
There's a different
100%.
rating if it's a work.
Circumstantial, like that. That's
So let's get real. Like you said, circumstantial. There
It is Megan Hall.
There is an extreme. There is an extreme difference between girls that you want and girls that you can get.
This is
Megan Hall is one of those girls that I can get
Oh shit.
if I'm lucky, if I'm on the right shift. If I,
Say you were out on patrol. You get. You're a traffic cop. I hate to tell you, you don't got that dog in you. You're
Bro.
a traffic cop. You come back in from your traffic shift. You are in the locker room, getting out of your uniform while she's getting into hers. What's your pickup line for her?
all right, so can we?
You know she's fucking the rest of
Hang
the
on.
department. What's
Can
your
we?
pickup
Wait,
line?
Hang
all right,
on.
let Tommy Boy say what he's got to
Okay.
say. Then I'm gonna say something.
What you just described sounds like the start of a script to like a under budget porno.
yeah, it does.
Absolutely. That's what I was going for.
I'm down
That's
for
what I
it.
was going for.
But hey, let's play this out. What's the word when you're doing sketch comedy? But
Improv.
let's improv.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
So
Who's
you are the cop.
Okay.
I'm just chilling. I'm a cop. I just got off my shift. I just fucking put my shit in my locker. You know, I'm just getting off the shift.
Okay.
You're Megan Hall.
Can we add to the improv scenario where you know she's already fucking the whole
Yeah,
department,
so-
so you start? Okay.
I know what's
I'm
up. I know what's up already.
Okay. I'm just getting out of my street clothes.
Yeah, you're looking hot. Continue.
What am I? You start. You're the start.
Hey, what's up, Megan? How'd your day go?
It's been good so far, but just getting to work now. It's about to go downhill. Wish I had someone to make it better for me.
Yeah, you know, so I had a really long day, and I'm not gonna lie to you, like, my wiener feels a little weird. Like, I'm serious.
Your wiener feels weird?
So my wiener feels weird, as in it's grown triple the size, and I don't know what to do with it.
Oh my god. You're telling me take that fucking belt off.
So Megan, I heard you've been making around the block. What's up? I just want, Megan, I want to be real with you. I'm a real dude. My name's Derek. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
we
you.
might have already known each other, but I love you, and I think you're really cool. And hey, you're getting off your shift. I just put my shit in the locker. What's up?
You know, I've been really trying to just keep our department calm.
Please put my cock in your mouth.
Sold.
That's how it would go.
Instantly
And that's how easy it was to get
And
her.
scene.
sold.
That's how easy it was. Seriously.
That's $1 million porno right
That
there.
was-
I tell you what.
That was great.
I'd have done
I
it.
think we pitched the idea.
The
to
only
Vivid
thing-
DVD.
I'd have done it.
The only edit that I would make is there needs to be like a gun reference in there. Like,
True.
yeah.
Hey, you packing?
You bagging heat?
You packing that heat? Because I bet you got a fine little pussy, don't you?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Do you or not? Do you or not?
That shit's gas, son. Shit is gas. Ask the
All
rest of
right.
the department.
He packing that 9mm, baby. What's up?
Packing a 45.
Hey,
I can't.
That was
Mitch,
good.
you're looking
That was
cute.
good improv by you, Sam.
Dude, it was. I
that was
feel
good.
like
I'm
I feel like
impressed.
that was
I mean,
my
I-
moment.
I feel like you got to give it to Sam, but like, I mean, Mitch did his
No, we
best.
just
Like, he's
exposed
a
my-
little out of his
What am I
element. I
supposed to
feel
do?
like.
love-
You know,
I love
How do you?
that.
No, I want to know what you guys' response to is.
I
I heard
wouldn't-
you got a
I-
tight little pussy. You tell me what you would have said back.
I'm gonna
I
say-
almost shit my pants.
I don't think I would have responded.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna report it to the manager of whatever the hell I'm working at.
So, all right. Good, great, dandy, fine. Let's move it on. Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy, I know you got a sober cab in this room. I'm trying to get fucking lit. Will you please pick one of these bottles off the wall so we can take a shot and fucking end this bullshit?
Bring
Or-
us out
or
with
start this
a post show. A post
Depending on how
show.
you
Yeah,
look at
we
it.
usually go pre-show. We're going post-show for Tommy Boy.
Yeah, look here.
There is a can
Anything
of
you
Bush's
want.
baked beans up there. Also, keep in mind.
Oh, you want to take a shot?
No, don't do that. Stop.
I mean, how much
We do
pain?
have
How
a
much
can
pain
opener.
do you guys want to be in? Because
I'm in for anything, brother.
I see my opportunity here.
Pull it.
banking on not drinking for 90 days. It's got to be that wild turkey.
The wild turkey?
Yep.
Shit, I think that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
there we go.
Where's that? Oh shit! You're stepping on my.
I don't know if we.
Over the
Keep
shoulder.
stepping on your
Do a
cord.
little wrap around.
The old wraparound. Mitch, I thought you were going to serve us up. I was getting
I got the bottle.
excited.
You serve us
Tommy,
up.
everyone that
Cody
we
serves
have
up.
on this episode, typically, and it's kind of putting you on the spot. So if you don't have one, don't feel obligated. But do you have any good cheers that you can share with us? Do you have any good ones?
I saw Dirty Prescott Kids, and I should have came prepared.
If you really don't have one, I have one for us.
All right, you're gonna have to fill in. For
But
me.
if you got one, I'm not gonna step on your toes. I want you to take it.
I
from
don't.
me.
I don't think I have one. That was not something. It was just get fucked up for us. Like, we didn't cheers nothing. I mean, we cheers, but it was just cheers. You know. I don't think anybody around my friend circle.
Absolutely. Well, I would like to bring it back with a good cheers. I've said it on here a bunch of times from my good buddy Nolan. And you got them ready to go? I'm ready to
Yes,
rip
sir.
on this thing. I'm gonna
Wait,
let
are
this
you
thing rip.
are you giving a cheers?
Oh no, you're giving a cheers.
I can.
Yeah,
If
we'll
you
go
have one,
We'll
I'll
both give a cheers.
Okay. You want to start or you want to finish?
I'll finish.
Yeah, you look like a finished guy. All right. Some ships are wooden, and those ships may sink, but the best ships are friendships, and to those ships we drink.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. That shit
say
gets
that's a
me so
phenomenal way to
pumped
end
up,
this thing.
dude.
Tommy, where can everyone find you? Where do you want them to follow you at?
Oh man. Instagram. Everything's at TommyBoy Music. So TommyBoyMusic. TommyBoy Music.
That was great.
I had to spell right there for a second.
Correct.
Spelling bee.
Yeah, all right.
Can you
Go
use it in
follow.
a
Go
sentence?
follow Tommy on what would you say is your biggest platforms right now? TikTok for sure.
TikTok, yeah, TikTok,
Instagram.
Instagram actually, like, I don't know if you guys noticed. So my TikTok that blew up, I posted it on Reels on Instagram, and that's blowing up as we speak.
That's awesome.
It's like, at like 100 and some thousand. I went from like 1,400 followers on Instagram. I'm like almost to 4,500 in like the last 4 or 5 days.
Fuck yeah,
yeah.
dude.
That's
So
crazy.
that's doing well. So TikTok, Instagram, really like obviously the main ones these
Hit 'em up.
days.
Hell yeah.
But yeah,
Spotify.
go-
Tommy
yeah,
Boy Music.
Tommy,
Yeah,
Boy
so-
Music.
absolute fucking honor to meet you. You're a great guy. I love your music. New single came out today.
Vacation.
Absolute fucking banger. If you guys aren't listening to Tommy Boy, you're fucking stupid. You're lacking. Come on, get with it.
I appreciate it.
Shout out
Yeah.
Tommy Boy. Thank you so
Shout
much
out.
for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. This
Hey.
was a great opportunity, and it's nice to meet you guys. The one thing I want to say too is like my first podcast. Like as far as a musician goes, this right here on Tap with some other small town Minnesota
Hey,
boys.
so we're gonna clip this. So thank you.
That's what I'm saying is like I wouldn't want to do it anywhere else. I've never been to Pine City. I don't think. But the fact that you guys can relate to my music in the same sense that like the reason that I created it, especially like small town in Minnesota, knows that you guys understand it and it's widely known in small town Minnesota.
Hey, it might
Hell
not
yeah.
be my
Yeah.
place, but I can't wait till you fucking come back, man. I
I'm
hope
coming, I just
that
told
you
them
come
out there.
back.
I can't wait to come back. Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
well, obviously, we're gonna probably want to give it a little bit of time. That way, you guys can get some, some other shit out. But
Absolutely.
and then I have time to go progress. But
Right.
um,
You got to go get more followers so that we
Dude.
can, so that you can bring a bunch of people with us.
Yeah,
Bring
bring
'em back for you. We'll just keep farming them out to Tommy here.
Tommy, seriously, anytime, man. We'd be more than happy to have you on, man. You are considered a friend of the show, a friend of us. We love you. We can't wait to hang out with you after this. You're the fucking man. Like, thank you for coming on here.
I
We appreciate it.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it, guys.
Hey, boys, thank you for listening to On Tap with Tommy Boy. We appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate everybody that does it. Let's fucking rip, boys.
Let's rip.
Yeah, I grew up on them dirt roads. Small town in Minnesota, you ain't heard of. Bonfire, baby, yeah, we let it burn on. Yeah, we smoke a little something, let it burn on. Let it burn